Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Monday Mood. I'm J Mo.
I'm Miller.
And we are very excited about this week's episode. It's brought to you by Huntmore Official. As you can see on the front of the table here, we've got some fancy little hats that are available for sale. So check the link in the description. Follow Huntmore Official on Instagram, YouTube, and get you one of these hats. They're great. They wear good.
Yeah.
They wear very nice.
Feel great.
Again, links are in the description. We hope you caught last week's episode. We kind of went over our opinions on the state of the union of the game of baseball from the hitter's perspective more so than anything.
Yeah.
That's really what kind of has always been the most exciting thing about the game. Pitching is great in its own right. Brian talked a lot about how it's very relatable to an art. The way pitchers can control the placement and the spin and the movement of the ball is unbelievable. But all hitters are going to see fastballs.
Yep.
Fastballs are moving in a straight line. And we noticed that batting averages have gotten so much worse over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be because our bat is not in the way of the ball. We're not making contact anymore.
Yep.
The only way you have a high batting average is if you're making contact and you're getting hits.
Solid.
The only way to get hits is to hit the ball hard.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily what it used to be. Baseball's not as fun to watch anymore. I don't watch a lot of it. I mean, I watch some during the World Series, but I mean,
I watch college, but I don't watch a lot of MLB.
Yeah, it's more so that, I mean, the goals of the players, maybe even the teams in a sense, seem to be more yearly based rather than long term.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I was growing up, it was harped on, especially from my hitting coach, that, I mean, you're striving to hit 300. You need to be trying to be a 300 hitter. You need to try to be at or around 300 as best you can. Because, number one, it means you're consistent.
Yep.
And number two, I mean, college coaches ain't running around looking for folks hitting 230, 240, 250.
Not high school.
They want people that can hit.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned Bryce Harper. We talked about his MVP season a little bit last year. I mean, he hit 309 last year, but the year before that he hit 268. This kid is, I mean, he is an unbelievable athlete. I remember hearing about him, reading about him in the Sports Illustrated magazines, all that stuff when he was 15, however old he was, 17, 18 years old, coming out of high school. And, I mean, he's doing things that professional guys could not do, hitting balls farther than professional guys could hit them. So, I mean, the level of ability, the level of athleticism that Bryce Harper has, for example, as well as so many other players in the game, young players in the game that have won these awards, all these yearly awards.
Yep.
We need to make sure that we're assessing their careers based off of what's consistent, because they may have hit 300 this year, but are they a 300 hitter? I mean, how close are they to 300 for their career?
Yeah.
And we're not saying this to bash people, guys.
No.
We're saying this to bring light to the fact that if these people would get the bat in the way of the ball more, if we would strive to do the simple thing in hitting, making contact with the straight moving pitch.
Yeah, solid contact, yeah.
They're going to hit better because they're already taking, I mean, longer swings in a sense, swings that are not in the zone or not in the way of the ball very long, and it's resulting in weak contact, poor contact, swings and misses. I mean, home runs 6 out of every 100 at bats.
Yeah.
That's not fun to watch.
Well, it just goes back to the fact of you're seeing all these highlights and all these reels when they're perfectly on time. I want to see those times where they're battling against a pitcher where they're not on time and they still get a line drive. They still get a flare for a base hit. They still have that good, solid contact because they made a good adjustment because of their barrel staying in that path, staying in that zone.
That's right.
And that's what's fun to watch to me. Not, like he said, every 100 at-bats, you have 6 home runs. I mean,
It's not exciting. I mean,
yeah,
the whole game was based. The first pitch every kid is taught to throw is a fastball.
yeah, pitchers warm up that way.
Fastball. So I mean, it's obvious that they're going to be more consistent throwing fastballs than they are any other pitch because they've thrown that pitch more than any other pitch ever. Ever. Anytime they throw a baseball, they're throwing a four-seam first.
Yep.
So that is the pitch they have the most control over. If hitters would start taking that into consideration, not that they don't, not that they're not hunting fastballs. They're hunting a fastball, but they're trying to be perfectly on time with this kind of swing.
Yeah.
Hunt a fastball and just get in the way of it. The start of their swings, I don't think, is late. The actual ignition, the turn of the key, when they fire to the ball, I don't think they're late in firing.
No.
They look late because of the position that their bat gets in.
Yeah.
I mean, they get jammed, they look tied up and all this stuff because they're trying to stay inside the ball, but their body has pulled off and now they're in completely awkward positions.
Well, you want to see
to
that
make any kind of solid contact.
A straight line, you want to see that ignition go forward when it starts. A lot of people talk about this barrel drop, that elbow coming down. This movement is not forward. It's not driven once my lower half comes through. It's delayed almost. A professional coach for the White Sox says barrel delay.
Delay the barrel.
Yeah.
Just keep it back. Try to keep the barrel from coming to the ball as long as you can. Not tightly, not forcefully, but just keep
like
pressure on the. It's like a bow and arrow. We shoot bows all the time. It's like
stretching that.
It's the pressure on the bow, and when the arrow releases, that's your. When you punch it off, the string coming forward is your body, your lower half, bringing the power, and when that hits that stop, when that string hits that string stop, and that arrow's released, the arrow is the hands. Yeah. The arrow is the whip. That's what we're trying to accomplish in the swing. And folks are pulling the bow back farther than they have to, and it's causing the line. Now they're not in line. Now they're
going off.
Now they're in circles.
Yeah.
Now they're going around, and we need to be moving straight.
Yep.
So, we talk about social media all the time. We watch social media all the time, mainly because of our jobs.
It's just out there.
That's what we're doing. And we see, you see a lot of big name players. You hear about a lot of different players throughout the year, sometimes more this one than others. And it can fool you at times.
Yes.
You can see hitters on Instagram, on Facebook, or YouTube, wherever, and think, man, this dude's good. He's hitting a home run every time I see him. He's just killing the ball. He's just crushing it. And then you get to the end of the season, and we go back and we start looking through numbers. We start looking at some of these people. And you find out that a guy like Shohei Ohtani, I would have swore the man was hitting 300. Yeah. He only hit 257. That shocked me.
Yeah, it shocked me too.
I was so shocked. But it goes to show that social media can skew your view of what's really going on. 250 is not successful in the span of long-term hitting.
No.
300, the more times out of 10 I can get a hit, the better I'm going to be.
Yeah. All around. Better player, better teammate, better career in the game, like getting to the World Series, having better opportunities to win in the game. It's just everything goes off that, especially offensively.
That's right. You're getting to the Hall of Fame. You're getting awards like that. You're getting your number retired for the Atlanta Braves because you're the best switch hitter to ever play for them.
Yeah.
Chipper Jones was one of those guys.
Yep.
That literally he was trying to hit a line drive through the center field wall.
Yep.
The only way to do that is for your bat to go through that zone straight.
Keep the hands inside.
Keep the hands inside for the bat.
Yeah, I know
to
Freddie.
Win through straight.
I know Freddie Freeman talked about it because that's somebody who counseled Freddie when he came up into the big leagues was Chipper, and told him about a little bit of a hitting approach. And as weird as Freddie's swing looks, he does a really good job of keeping his hands inside the pitches.
Yeah.
And keeping his barrel through the zone.
He goes to show you that there is, every now and then, there are some people that have the ability, the athleticism, that their approach can be better than their mechanics.
Yep.
I mean, his approach is so good. I mean, obviously his bat sometimes gets into a vertical plane as it goes through the zone.
Yeah.
That's tough to make. I mean, that's tough. But Freddie is so good at it.
Yeah.
He is unbelievably good at it because his approach is trying to stay inside the ball, not do too much, and just hit it where it's pitched. His first priority is to go the other way.
Yeah. And it kind of leads me into something that I saw posted on social media about all great hitters don't have the same swing. That is correct. They don't. Freddie, Chipper, all these people had different swings. The concept they had at the plate and when they were practicing were very similar. And that's where you have to start thinking about. Yes, everybody's going to have a different swing. Everybody's going to be different. But the concepts they were thinking when they were going through their practice games were very, very similar. Okay? And that's keeping that path in line as long as possible, keep my hands inside the ball.
Yeah. It's just, we have to be careful as a fan, number one, because as a fan, you can get very distracted and very lost in just the excitement of a home run or the excitement of a big play or whatever. Yeah. And we don't realize what's really going on in the game, that folks really aren't that consistent at making contact with the ball. Yeah. We're watching, I saw a video earlier yesterday of a guy hitting in a game. It was a 3-1 count. It's a professional baseball game. 3-1 count. He was throwing a changeup. Left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher. Changeup starts middle away. 3-1 count, I mean, going back to Little League, 3-1 count, everybody's sitting on a fastball. Yeah. Everybody. And I mean, you have permission. Truthfully, it's 3-1 count. You're in the driver's seat. You can sit on a fastball wherever you want. Middle away, middle in, up, down. Yep. I mean, whatever. You're hunting your pitch at that point. It's up to you. So he gets, change up middle away, and he's just butt out, fishing for it. Yeah. He gets it on the barrel somehow because he's got really good hand-eye coordination, and he hits this Punch and Judy pop-up to shallow center field that if the center fielder was playing 2 steps in, he probably catches the ball before it hits the ground, and it's an out. And the guy that shared the video literally was talking about how, this is what we want to practice. We want to practice being fooled. If you're working off a tee, that's not what we want to do. Because a tee, no ball in a game is sitting still. Yeah. Okay, folks, that doesn't make any sense. You have a professional player that literally does this in a swing, and you want to teach your play. That's what you're using to promote what you teach?
Well, you could see throughout the whole swing that's not what he wanted to begin with. He was looking for a middle end pitch. The swing looked like a middle end pitch is what he wanted. He got fooled and just continued his hands
All he had
through.
Was just the flick of a wrist.
Continued his hands through the path and got a hit. But that fact of not wanting to do TWork to help make those adjustments.
TWork is how you make the adjustment.
Yeah. TWork is how you work specific aspects of your swing without worrying about the pitch coming at you.
To me, that's almost, somebody that says skip the tee is almost somebody that didn't hit long enough. Because it is so unbelievably difficult to make an adjustment when everything is moving. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've got every single thing moving, your brain, your body, the pitch, your eyes, your hands, your feet, every single thing is trying to move. And you're trying to hit the ball hard. So now you're trying to be powerful. Yeah. You can't focus on anything. Yeah. You can't really see and tell what's happening in your swing. Yep. Somebody else can. They can tell you what you're doing wrong, but you can't feel it. You can't really isolate it and fix it. That's why you have to have the tee. If you can't hit a ball sitting still, if you can't put a ball on the tee and keep your bat in the way of it this far out front and this far in the back, consistently, the ball I'm in the exact same spot over and over and over and over, then you need to get you a tee and hit off a tee. Mm-hmm. You are not ready to put your swing to the test in a game. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes, you got to put it to the test. But you got to go back to the tee. Yeah. You can't go back to the cage and then try to adjust your bad swing with somebody firing BPT.
Well, at that point, you're letting muscle memory kick in. You're letting what you practice on the tee, that aspect of your hands, your hips, your knee that you've been practicing, you just got to let them play. You got to let them do what they've been doing off that tee. You can't be thinking about these things while you're hitting because you got to worry about the ball, picking up the spin, all that stuff. You can't be thinking about what your body's doing while you're looking at the ball. It's just setting you up for setting you up for failure.
And hitters, we're telling you the truth here. I mean, you deal with this yourself. I mean, going through these struggles at times where you literally have worked all you can work. They have sat there and tossed you and tossed to you and tossed to you until you have just about hit the sweet spot out of your bat. And it's still not working for you. It's because you have not isolated the specific problem. You're trying to fix 98 problems at one time. This is one of those things that you literally have to break it all the way down to that problem.
Yes.
Fix that problem, and then move to the next thing.
Well, once you isolate the swing like that and understand how it functions together and all those things, you can have a result in a game that's bad and be able to go back to one of those aspects in your swing and know where to fix it, know where it went off, okay? I rolled over. My hands went ahead of my lower half, okay? Next time I'm coming up to the bat, the only thing I need to think about is drive my knee and watch the ball.
If the ball misses, if you do not hit the ball on the sweet spot in a game, there's a reason. I mean, they would collide if they were in line. So if those two things did not hit, that means that your sweet spot was moved left, right, up, or down somehow. And if you don't know how, if you don't understand how, if you don't know where in the swing it came off, what went wrong to put your bat in that bad position, it is going to be a struggle. It is, I'm telling you folks, it's going to be so hard to be a consistent hitter. It's going to be so tough mentally.
Yeah, frustrating.
Oh, it's going to be so frustrating because you're going to come in here, you're going to put the ball on the tee, and you're going to kill it because, yes, it's not moving. And I'm trying not to get too far off on tangents here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we put a ball on the tee, we can't lose the concept of where the line is.
Yes.
We put the ball on the tee, and we start going that way, knob to the ball, to that knob to the ball. There ain't a person that's ever thrown me a pitch to hit from the first base side. It always comes from the pitcher, from that direction.
Well, yeah.
So using the tee, folks are telling you to skip the tee because they don't understand the concept of the tee. Put the ball on the tee and get your hands going the right direction. Figure out what the line really is. Figure out what linear hitting really is. How to keep your bat in the way of the ball as long as possible. So when you're off, when you miss, when you're not perfect, because we know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Our sweet spot's still in the way, and we can still make solid contact.
Yep.
You're not going to hit a home run every time.
No.
You're not going to hit a double every time. You're not going to just bust teeth out every time. But, I mean, that's baseball. If you want to do that, go play slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
Don't play baseball. It's not for you. This game is so competitive, and it's competitive in a much different way. And if we never really, if the player never takes time to slow down all the competition, all the movement, all the variables, and take all of that out of it, and just focus on how could I keep my bat in the way of that ball in a straight line as long as possible, and start digging into those concepts, learning those concepts, reach out to us and talk to us about those concepts, I'm telling you, you will see drastic improvement in your swing, and it'll happen very quick.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Y'all, I'm telling you, we'll show you this 7-year-old right here. 7-year-old kid, y'all, we've had him for 3.5 weeks.
Yep.
And, I mean...
7 guys.
He'll go a bucket and a half, and he'll be wore slap out. He is wore slap out. But the first bucket he hits, I mean, you're talking 50 to 60% of the balls he hits are hit solid.
Yeah.
Some may be in the air, some may be a little lower, but the solidity of the contact is, he's not missing on the end, and he ain't missing towards his hands.
Yeah. He's missing.
All of his misses are on the sweet spot.
Just missing up and down the sweet spot. And that's what y'all need to understand about home runs. It's a miss. A hard ground ball is a miss. A hard ground ball. I'm not saying a 5-hopper to the pitcher.
Yes, we're talking about
a shortstop. I'm talking about a 1-hopper that relatively stayed in the air for the majority of the time and then
just eat somebody up.
Yeah. Those are slight misses up and down on your barrel, which is going to happen. I'm okay with those misses. We're okay with misses like that in the zone, but taking it from around to out of the zone, that's where you get weak line drives that flare out, flare foul.
They don't even stay in play anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, they're easy to catch. They hang up in the air just a little too long, and now I got to go sit down because the dude caught my foul ball. I mean, we're trying to get the game back on track. And I say we're trying to get it back on track. We're just trying to bring light to what the facts are.
Yeah.
Batting averages have plummeted.
Yep.
The only way to get them back up, the only way to see hitters really find out what these hitters can do. Some of these folks, I mean, Bryce Harper, Mookie Betts, Bo Bichette, all these athletes, y'all. Some of these people haven't even tapped into the athletic potential that they have in this sport. Yep. The ball that Jorge Soler hit last year in the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about extension, and we'll kind of wrap it up here. We talk about extension. Which hand has more extension to the ball? Common sense. Nobody would turn like this and try to extend that way. I stand like this when I hit. My bottom hand obviously has more extension. So if I can get my hands inside of that pitch and get extension with that bottom hand, more extension is going to lead to more carry on the ball.
Yeah, and
it's going to lead to more power.
When he talks about shoulder turn like that, I want y'all to also take into consideration when both hands are on the bat, guys. And you talk about this bottom hand extension. This hand is still on the bat. This hand is for direction. It is controlling my barrel. So if this hand gets from going linear to turning, what direction do you think your bat's going to take? It ain't going to take a straight angle. It's going to turn. Yeah. And y'all need to understand that when y'all talk about two-hand finishes and all this stuff, because regardless of what y'all are taught, regardless of what y'all know, it makes sense. The straight line. Getting my extension through that straight line is not this, because it's not going to be this, because you're going to have this hand on the bat, guys. It's never going to be this. It's going to always be in motion, what y'all talk about, because I want to be moving fast. It ain't going to be something that I'm just sitting here catching balls with this hand or anything like that. It's going to be in a fast motion. So once that direction changes, that's where I'm going. I'm not going to continue forward when that direction changes. I'm going to take it right out of the zone.
Yep. And that's what's happening. I mean, even Jorge Soler on that swing, he was perfectly on time for that. That's the results you get.
Perfect.
Absolutely crushed. Absolutely crushed.
This game is not based on
I want you to go back and replay that and put yourself, you got to visualize this. Not everybody can do this because everybody wants to look at how big the home run was. Go look and see where his bat would have ended up or how bad he would have missed if he would have been early.
Yep.
His bat was already going towards the third base side. His bat was already coming away from the field of play.
Yeah.
So if he's that much earlier, cue ball right to the pitcher. Swing and miss, chopper right in the ground. I mean, if the bottom hand learns to lead the swing and learns to get to full extension properly, some of these hitters that are playing in professional baseball right now, they would smash these home run distance records. They would hit some balls that would absolutely get lost.
Yep.
We'd never find them. So we'll kind of wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Miller, I've enjoyed it. We hope you guys have enjoyed us. We'll see you right here next week on another episode of Monday Mood. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Swing Shops channel. Follow us on Instagram and stay tuned for our website launching next month.